Today was the February meeting of the County Council Executive. The main item for discussion was the proposed budget for the County Council for the year starting in April. Our budget now, our revenue budget, our day-to-day spending budget is now will be just under £500 million. So within the proposals we've looked at, we've had to account for nearly £40 million of what we call cost pressures. That's things like inflation, increased numbers of older people requiring services and things like that, increases in the minimum wage as well. So we've had to account for that. At the same time, we, for the first time for a couple of years, have taken savings. So there are £14 million worth of savings within our proposal. The good news for that is they are nearly all genuine efficiency savings, so they will have no impact on frontline services. We're also this year proposing to have what we call a development fund of over £12 million, and what we're going to do there is some one-off spending, increased spending on highways, increased spending on dealing with the flooding issues, increased spending on various other matters which we think are important to local people. So I think that's good news that despite finding savings, we're also finding a mechanism whereby we can do those one-off things that people would expect us to do. To balance our books, we're looking at council tax, so the proposal is to put the council tax up by 3.5%, so that's 2% which the government has prescripted for adult social care, and a further 1.5% for day-to-day running of the council. That's slightly below the maximum 4% which the government would allow us to go to. So because we've been financially prudent, we think this is a good time just to put a little bit of a saving in there to make sure that we are protecting those people who find it difficult to find their council tax. We've also today looked at various aspects of the social care responsibilities which the County Council have. One of those was the home care contracts, and that is basically where people who are in need of support in their own homes, the County Council will go and provide that support through home care workers and the like, and the time has come to procure or retender that contract, so we're going out to that. As part of that, we're actually also increasing the rural element of funding, so that when home care workers, for example, are going through the countryside, it does make it more difficult to recruit and retain them, because it means that a lot of time is spent travelling around as opposed to being in with the client. So to help them and to help the providers, we're actually increasing the rate there. We're also increasing the number of hours, the actual contact time that people have, so much more of the service will be a minimum of 30 minutes, unless of course it's just for organising pills or doing minor things. But anything to do with care, particularly in terms of social care, there will be a 30-minute minimum call time. We've also looked at another element, which is what we call community services living, which is for those high intensity requirements that a few clients have, quite a few clients have, and again that's for those people with very severe needs, and obviously we're again looking at that contract going out again, and it's very important that not only we look after those needs, which can be very, very substantial, but also make sure that we get the best value for the taxpayer as well. The final part was the reablement service, and this is where people typically come out of hospital or intensive care, and we have a 6-week period where we help them get back on their feet so that they can reintegrate and resume their lives. And if there isn't some intensive support from reablement, it probably means that they will remain, disabled or requiring services for the rest of their lives. That's proved very successful, because if we can get people back in the mainstream, if I want to call it like that, that means it's better for them. That's the most important thing, but also it means that there is less demand on services both for the NHS and for the County Council. Final item we looked at was St Christopher's expansion of the special school, proposed special school, St Christopher's School in Lincoln. So that will be a project where we actually integrate what we do in Lincoln regarding special needs education as part of our £50 million programme to have schools across the county. And that was looked at, and we are proposing a two-site school in the city, one for primary pupils with special needs and one for secondary. Again, I think that was a very positive development and will improve and enhance the provision for those children in Lincoln and the area of Lincoln.